Right, I don't know if I'm live or not. I assume I am. Um, right, hello, lovely members. I've been having a big rethink, so I thought I'd have a chat with you about generally what's been happening. 7 months ago, at the beginning of lockdown, my job really came to an end because my job involved going to people's houses, perhaps 3, 4, even 5 people a week, and doing behaviour work with the dogs. And I've been doing this for 15 years and I've absolutely loved it. And all of a sudden it stopped. So that's when I started the Facebook group to keep my hand in, really, to keep myself busy and to try to help, generally help dogs, help people. I hadn't thought of it back then as much of a way of actually replacing my business because I thought it was going to be a fairly temporary thing. But it seems like it's going to carry on. And I work very, very hard at my group. I've got 16 units, they're full of things, and I don't think that really people are making enough use of all this free information. I know that people join Facebook mostly for free stuff, and it's there, but I get so many messages and posts from people who are asking things that are actually covered in the units. So what I'm going to do first of all is to try to explain as well as I can how to use the units effectively and how to find them. I mean, quite a lot of people message me or comment saying, where are the units? It's hard finding a way around, really. Anyway, the units are in a menu, which is on my phone and on my laptop, are both along the top. And if you click units, you then open up all, like a library, really. I've got it on my phone here, and there's 16 of them. I'm very quickly going through. We've got the first one is all about puppies. It's just because that's a very big subject, and we've got 39 posts in there. That's a mix of things that I've recorded, things I've copied, things that I've saved from other people, everything useful that I can find. The next one is on barking. Now there's about 8 or 9 posts on that as well. The next one is about dogs. People say they won't listen, that they're stubborn. They're not motivated. There's one, and then there's the next one is all about overexcitement and stress. Then we've got one on aggression issues and guarding. We've got fearful dogs, scared. We've got callers to the house. We've got separation. We've got all sorts of things. But it's impossible to actually cover people's own individual variations in posts, which is really why there are behaviorists. Anyway, this is how to use it. First of all, you look along the top and find the units, then you scroll through and you'll be able to see with a little bit of time that there's a lot of choice there and you'll find an awful lot. The other thing that people don't tend to think of is if they have a problem, say the problem with a cat and the dog, if you put cats in the search box, you will then find posts and maybe even things in the units, if there are any, about cats. The thing about all this, though, is the free information isn't really enough. There's never really enough of it. It's impossible to go into every variation. And what's been happening more and more as our membership has grown, people have been messaging me behind the scenes with their dog's problems. And what I've been trying to do is give individual advice for each thing. I mean, the last few have included somebody who wanted to know how to get their dog to accept having his paws dried, didn't like that. Another one was where their cat actually attacked their puppy. Then there's another one, very recent one, a dog barking in the house and also snapping at other dogs. Now these things here, they're not actually described in the units as such. This is where my personal help really needs to come in, because I can extract from my knowledge and experience the best course of action for these things. The other thing is a puppy starter. There's nothing like actually talking to somebody, talking about the setup in their house, what they've got there in the way of equipment to make things easy, setting it all up first, so much better than the person just reading through stuff, which is why I have really changed, in addition to the free stuff, which I keep adding to all the time, I'm also tidying up really my communications with people, my more personal communications. So instead of giving free 15-minute chats about the possibility of a consultation, I am separating this lot up a little bit. I'm giving the 15-minute chats, but they're no longer going to be free. So if somebody has an issue like the drying of the paws or a simple one issue, then £10 gets 15 minutes of my time on Facebook video messenger, and we can have a look at that. If it's something a little bit more complicated, we can have half an hour. There's quite a lot you can do in half an hour, and that would be £20. Now, to have a proper online Zoom consultation, which is going to be recorded, and also I will follow it up with a chat as well to make sure that everything's going okay. Now, that would cost £50. That would be recorded, as I think I just said, and it is considerably less than that anybody else normally pays. This is a special price for Facebook members, Facebook group members. And really, that all these prices, they're recognizing, first of all, that in these times, you haven't got so much money. There's not so much money going around, but also in these times, I also have to earn a living. So I think this is a win-win. I hope it is. So the justification really for a behaviourist who's any good to be charging reasonable money is the thousands and thousands that have been put in my own education, my own, all the seminars, all the courses, all the qualifications, all the associations, all these things cost a lot of money. And if anybody's doing it on the cheap, then they can't have had the experience and training because they just couldn't afford to do it. You know, there may be people who are trainers, which is great. I mean, I think trainers are very clever, but they may be dabbling in behaviour work. But there's, you know, a little bit of it's fine. There's a bit of overlap, but they won't have the same expertise. So it's not me being greedy. It's because it's the only way I can afford to do it. Anyway, going back to the units. Look at the top, think about what it is you want help with. I mean, there's probably so often when there's a problem with the dog, it's not just one thing. You know, your dog may be, I don't know, barks at people coming to the house, but then when we look at it, there's all sorts of other things that are related. Barks at people walking past, barks at people on walks, is very unsettled. Doesn't sleep properly at night. There's lots of things. Often when there's one problem, this is the whole point of having a proper hour, is we find all those things that are linked to the problem. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, I always say. You know, you've got lots of little bits and you put them in and you begin to sort out the problem. And really getting this done early on when the problems raise their heads saves so much time and anguish in the long run, and expense, I would say, because you'll be having visits to the vet to make sure that everything's okay with the dog. May even be having bills if your dog bites somebody. If you want a nice happy dog, it's important to know how to treat it. Anyway, I hope this is clear. I hope it's clarified a little bit for you. So if you do message me or you send a comment wanting for some specific personalized help, that's absolutely fine. But I will just be pointing you towards the choice of either 15 minutes, half an hour, or a consultation. Or I may tag you in, as I normally do, tag you into one of the units. But you can do this for yourself if you look through them. Anyway, nice to have a chat. I hope all that's clear, and bye-bye.